And we are live. All right. Welcome back to Rich Media Podcast. I have a special guest today, Scott Sikes. He's an amazing photographer. I'm going to let him brag on himself. I don't know a whole lot about him. This is why we do the podcast so that we can get the information we need so we can water the flowers of Scott Sikes. He is an amazing photographer, what I've known. I've seen him on a mutual group page. And on that page, I seen some images from this guy, and I'm an avid sports photographer for all you who know me. But his images inspired me so much that I had to send him a DM. And today, I'm so blessed and fortunate to have him on the Rich Media Podcast. So, how you doing, Scott?
I'm great, Darnell. Thank you for that warm welcome. I'm very humbled. It's great to be here. I've been excited to do this with you. Since we discussed it earlier this week. A little anxious and don't know if I have to say something smart, but I'm excited to be here. So thank you.
Man, you're smart because you're a photographer. You're ascended the ranks. You know, we create images and words, man, that make a difference for people. Mm-hmm. When I grew up in life, man, I was a pretty good athlete, but there was never anybody there that was recording my moments. So I don't have anything to show my children. I have one image and I'm very proud of it. You know what I mean? So imagine the things that we do for kids now and how much, they're able to look at themselves and celebrate themselves and then find the good things within themselves to keep doing that thing and becoming more excellent. We're powerful people.
I just got chills because that's what I get excited about is capturing them and the memories and, if you go to like a college or an NFL game, then you're fighting for space, with all the other photographers who are doing the same thing and you're trying to get a better picture than them. Mm-hmm. But you go to the high school level and the, JV and middle school and below it, and nobody's there, maybe high school games, but nobody else is there capturing the images. And so if you can go and do a good job and capture these images for people, so they have those memories, that's what I love doing it. And that's why I do it.
Man. Well, when did you start? Because when I look at your images, man, what I see is a guy that has been trained or coached or have so much experience in this field, because I see a lot of sports photographers out there and, I call them, they're camera owners. They're not really photographers. They just own a camera, but it's your work proves that you have put in a lot of work and you have a lot of experience. So when did you start? And, tell me about that.
Well, I got serious about 2 years ago. I've been shooting for a long time. It started, my daughter's 17. And when she was a baby, I was taking pictures of her and I just had, a point and shoot camera. And she'd make a cute little face or whatever, and you click the button, and then there's a delay, and then the expression's gone, and then you've got just a kind of a lame picture. And so I got frustrated with that. And my dad was telling me about DSLR cameras, and when you hit the button, it takes the picture essentially immediately. Mm-hmm. So I said, oh, that's what I need. And so I saved up my money and I did my research and I knew at the time that the research that I was doing, I didn't know what I was getting into. My first DSLR camera was a Canon T2i. And if you don't know what that is, it's a bottom of the line consumer grade camera from probably 2008 or 2010, around that time frame. The image quality isn't great. The low light capability, I think the max ISO on that camera only went up to 6400. Can't go higher than that. Yeah. And then looking back, I probably should have gotten the kit lenses because those were better quality. But I did my research, like I thought I knew what I was doing at the time. And I ended up getting this Tamron 18 to 270 millimeter lens. And, I've since learned that, what I was trying to do was get a, one lens that I'd never have to take off my camera and it would do everything.
Mm-hmm.
I've since learned that it did do everything, but it did everything poorly. And if you want better image quality, you need something that's more focused, and it's going to have its limitations. In this case, it had a very large zoom. The 270 millimeters, I think, is, because it's a crop sensor, I think it's the equivalent of 414 millimeters on the long end, if I remember correctly. So it's got a nice long zoom, but just the image quality wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I was happy taking shots of my daughter, and I enjoyed photography. I had it actually started before that. I took a class in high school on photography where we were shooting film.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people in here that have never shot film and probably never will. But that's a whole interesting thing in itself, going in a dark room and developing and looking back, it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so, fast forward a little bit, throughout the years, I would photograph just candid shooter at, family events and family weddings. I would just, on my own volition, I'd talk to the people getting married, but on my own volition, I just go and be a candid shooter and stay out of the way of the professionals. But I'd go talk to them and ask them questions, and they were thrilled to share their knowledge with me. And so that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to the point after several years that I started, seeing other people's images, and I was frustrated because I was like, why don't my pictures look like that?
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, I took a step back. I didn't even want to use my my DSLR camera anymore. And so I didn't shoot for a while, a few years, maybe once or twice here and there, but mostly I just didn't do it. And I truly felt limited by my equipment at that time. I wish I would have kept practicing and at it. But when my daughter became a freshman in high school, she's now a senior. She does competition cheer, and so it's football season. They did sideline and competition cheer, and I picked it back up and I started photographing the cheerleaders. And I was at every game, I was at every competition. She also did All Stars competition cheer, and so I was shooting those. And I made the mistake of letting the football moms see my pictures, and then they wanted me to shoot the football games, and then I got access to the sideline, and then it spread to all the sports. So now I shoot all the sports essentially.
Wow.
And from the time that she was a freshman to now, I started upgrading my equipment, and I got a Canon. I bought mostly all used. I can't think of anything I bought brand new. I bought all used equipment. In fact, the T2i and that Tamron lens were I believe the only lens and camera body that I bought brand new, and that was $1,500 in 2009 or 10, whatever it was, and that was huge for me back then. And I would show people, people would ask about my camera and be like, oh yeah, this is a $1,500 setup. Like I thought I had something. It was a big deal to me back then. Now, a lens costs that or more used. And so I went to a Canon 7D, which is a crop sensor sports camera. That's I forgot what year that came out, maybe 2008 or 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And a Canon 5D Mark III, which is great for like wedding photographers and so forth. And that camera is 10, 12 years old or so. Then I went to and I did this for a while, and they were better than what I had, and I was happy. And then I upgraded to, I worked 2 years ago in the summer when COVID hit. I have to go into the office every day for my day job. I can't work from home, and I was sitting in the wrong building, and so I had to come to work every day. If I had been sat in a different building, which I had sat in previously, I would have had every other week off paid. And so I was angry, and I was bitter, and I was bored in my job. And I decided to that I really wanted a top of the line camera, and that's the Canon 1DX Mark III.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked overtime all that summer and saved up enough money to get that camera, and I was like so excited about it, and I love that camera. And so I used that as seed money to get the camera. I was upgrading lenses. I got 70 to 200 millimeter 2.8, and 24 to 70 2.8, and I eventually got a 300 millimeter and a 400 millimeter 2.8, and just got more and more serious and studying, looking at people's images and being like, wow, their stuff is amazing. How is it so clear? How is it so sharp? I know there's a really bad lighting situations on a football field or in a basketball gym. You know, how are their images so good? And so I started asking a lot of questions. I was, shooting tens of thousands of frames per week. I was shooting, multiple games a week. I try to shoot as many as I can. Now I'm trying to figure out balancing that between getting images posted and somewhat edited and just getting more. So really, it was just a progression. I just got more and more serious, and the better I got, the more I wanted to improve. So I've run on for a bit here. You probably have some questions you want to throw in.
Oh, no. The story is the most important part of why I do this. The story. I no, take as much time as you need, buddy. I love it all.
So okay, thank you. So just asking questions, and these great photographers are willing to answer questions and mentor, and they show their work, and it's just amazing. And there's little details like I finally got a great clean shot. It's clean. It's a great shot, part of my portfolio, and then I post it to Facebook. Why does it look like garbage? Well, then somebody told me, multiple people chimed in and said, well, when you post something to social media, they run these compression algorithms because people posting so much content, they have to store it, and so they shrink it down. If you put it on their full size, the compression algorithms often make it look like garbage when you post it online. So this picture that you spent the time to take that's awesome now looks like garbage. But if you shrink it down before their algorithms get to it and post it on there, then it will look just as clean as your image. And so tips and tricks like that.
Yeah.
Another one was when I first started shooting for years and years and years, I would only shoot JPEG, and I was scared of RAW. I didn't know, I wasn't editing pictures originally. Once I started editing, I started looking at pictures and realized if you want a picture to look amazing, you generally have to edit it. Not always, but generally. Most images could be improved by editing and or cropping. And so I started doing that, and I started learning that, and it was a slow process, but I just kept at it and learning. And so I eventually started shooting in RAW because I found out you have more control over the editing. For example, if you get the color off, the white balance or the tint way off in the original photo, if you're a little bit off, you can generally correct that with editing a JPEG image, which is a more processed format than RAW. RAW is like the raw ingredients. And so if you're really far off, it doesn't matter how far off you are in the white balance, you can correct that in RAW. And so I started shooting in RAW, and I thought I had arrived now that I'm shooting in the format that professionals shoot in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true. Like a lot of wedding photographers and portrait photographers and so forth shoot in RAW. And I noticed that my sports images that I shoot at high ISO, which is the sensitivity to light. So when you're more sensitive to the light, you have a higher signal to noise ratio, or lower, however that works. You have more noise, more bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I found out that a lot of the great sports photographers were actually shooting in JPEG.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to believe it. I was like, that doesn't make sense to me. All these other photographers that aren't sports photographers in general are telling me that RAW is the way to go. If you've ever seen YouTube by Jared Polin, Frono's Photo, he's got these T-shirts that say "I shoot RAW." He's wearing that all the time.
Yeah.
And so I tried it. I tried shooting RAW plus JPEG at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And shortly after I did that, the images started coming out. Immediately when I started doing that, the images came out cleaner in the JPEG. And shortly after that, I stopped shooting RAW for high ISO sports, like in a basketball gym or under the lights for football and field hockey and whatever, soccer, whatever sports they play outside at night. So I don't even shoot RAW generally at high ISO situations. And it saves me a lot of space for storage.
Mm-hmm.
It saves me a lot of time, getting the images, from the card to the computer, and then working with them. And now I finally have a fast enough computer that's probably negligible. But I was working on a computer, and it would take a lot more time with those large RAW files.
Mm-hmm.
Learning, there's just a couple tips that I learned along the way
Mm-hmm.
that I hope other people can benefit from.
Mm-hmm.
People help me, and I help other people as much as I can. I'm constantly. You said you saw something I posted. I'm constantly on there answering questions, and there's certain groups that you have to undo a lot of misinformation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And do it in such a way that you're respectful and polite, but people know what you're talking about, or think you know what you're talking about, if you really do. Hopefully.
Yes.
So I try to only talk about things that I know about and had personal experience with, but then I'm sitting there answering questions, just trying to help people.
Yes. That's amazing, man. That's amazing. And I two nuggets I've already picked up already. I know, say when you talk to smart people who know what they're doing, you always can get, I call it mental scraps. You always can get some mental information that you can use to make yourself a little better. People want the diamond, but they don't want the coal. I want the coal.
Yes.
I want, I believe that all people can take raw material and make it better. I just believe that, so I do not shoot RAW. If I do a wedding or portraits, I will shoot RAW. But other than that, there's no way, because it's like if I tripled the volume of the books that I have in my room, I would have really nowhere to sit. And this is what that turning that RAW thing does, man. It's like it goes from 3,000 pictures to like 600 that you can take. And it's like, nah. Those cars are too expensive for that now. Somebody got smart and raised the price of the cars, because you used to be able to get those cars pretty cheap, but now they've elevated them up because they understand how important they are to the camera. So now you're at one school now. Do you when you photograph the schools, do you photograph both teams?
I do. I shoot at a lot more schools, actually. My daughter is a senior, and I started shooting at other schools, and I've got kind of 3 primary schools that I shoot at, but I travel. I travel with the teams, whether it's football or basketball or volleyball, and I'll go shoot at other sports, and I'll shoot both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And I got hooked up with a couple of companies. I'll say there's one that the company that owns the contracts to shoot all the yearbook pictures. They do both portraits and the photography candids is what they call it, the sports action.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just do the sports action, but they assign me, the first 2 or 3 weeks of each season. So I've got spring season about to start, where they tell me what to go shoot, and I'll go shoot that, and I'll get them 75 images from each game. And so it's typically at my home school, where my daughter goes, but sometimes it's other schools.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's 2 other schools that are right within a couple minutes drive of my house. One is a high school that's a mile away, a public school. My daughter goes to public school.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a private school that opened here maybe 3 years ago. They just moved from another, established, but moved from another location. And it's literally like walking distance from my house. I could walk there if I wanted to, but I got a bunch of gear, so I drive.
Exactly.
And so I started shooting there, and they love it when I come. And so I'll expand more. I'll probably shoot less of my home school, which is John Champ in Aldie, Virginia. I'll probably shoot a little bit less there next year.
Mm-hmm.
After my daughter's graduated, and try to cover more schools and more sports.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've shot boys basketball, so many times, and girls basketball so many times, and the images start to look kind of the same, and
Mm-hmm.
I just like to be able to I have to say this carefully. I want to be able to shoot more kids.
Yes.
I always get a uncomfortable look when I show up and I say I'm here to shoot the children.
There you go. That's right. That's right. I'm sure everybody's alarmed with that. Yeah. So like I like to shoot personally. I like to try to shoot like at my home schools. I like to try to shoot 3 away games and 3 home games because the uniforms are different.
Yes.
And I like to go. Yeah. So I like to go leave their gym and go to another gym. Follow them where they go. Somewhere that's in my vicinity, my proximity. I don't go too far right now. So it sounds like you're benefiting from photography.
Yes.
And and that's wonderful. So you give them digital images, they print they do what they need to do with the images, and they compensate you for your time for doing that.
Well, I was originally, when my daughter was in 9th grade, a freshman, I was just shooting for free, and I just get given the pictures. And then it was, I guess, her junior year, I started charging. I started, and after I had been giving away all these pictures for free, it's kind of hard. And people were telling me this, is you can't go from shooting free to charging. And I kind of did that. What I do is I take all the images. I was trying to edit them all, but sometimes I'll deliver, for a basketball game or any game, really, it could be 400 to 600 or 700 pictures that I deliver for that game. They're not all like Sports Illustrated quality, but I can't tell you the number of pictures that I've looked at, and I know that if a sports photographer looked at it, they would say that's a throwaway. But my algorithm is, do I think that the athlete or the parent would want to see this picture? And if I think they would, then I include it. Even if, maybe it's not as sharp as it could be, or, something like that. I'll go ahead and include it, and I'll put it on SmugMug. And I can't tell you how many of those pictures have been bought. That are technically poor sports pictures, but people liked it. I've had people, even just recently, people bought pictures of them sitting in the stands. I take pictures of the crowd, and not just of the large groups of kids cheering, but of the parents. And I just sold one recently. So I put them on SmugMug. It's a site similar to Zenfolio, and I just put my watermark across the middle, and and it's just fairly small, and it's 50% opacity or something like that, and so it's not just a big bold, but it's definitely there.
Mm-hmm.
It's my website, so when people steal my pictures, which they do all the time, and I'm
Of
okay with,
course. Me
um,
too.
it drives them to my website. So I get
Exactly.
so much traffic. And if I wanted to, I could put my watermark all over. And I'm with a group of photographers called viva Loudon.com.
Mm-hmm.
That's the county I live in, Loudoun County. And I submit my pictures to them as well, and they put the watermark all over. I like just a single watermark because then you can see the quality of the image. It
Mm-hmm.
looks a lot different than a cell phone picture, which is what most people are taking pictures with these days.
Yeah.
Or if they have a consumer grade camera and most people don't know how to use them, and they're shooting too low of a shutter speed, so it's blurry. And I like to let them see the quality of my image, and then
Mm-hmm.
they either buy it or steal it. And if they steal it, they drive more traffic to my site.
Yeah.
So um, I need to work on the business side. I haven't focused on it. It's not the primary reason I do photography, but
Mm-hmm.
it has allowed me to pay for everything. I got a new MacBook because my old computer was too slow. I got network attached storage recently. I got lenses and camera bodies since I got that Canon 1DX Mark III, and it's paid for all of that. And so
Nice.
I'm
Nice.
I'm happy with that.
Yes.
Feel very blessed. And then after my daughter graduates, I'll probably focus on the business side a little bit more to
Mm-hmm.
kind of justify all the time that I'm spending and the money that I'm spending, because now not only um, am I spending money to go do this, travel and equipment and all that, but now I don't have the time to work on my cars like I used to, so I have to pay a mechanic $150 an hour in my area to work on my cars
Mm-hmm.
instead of saving the money and doing that myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard a long time ago from a great mentor. He said, he said you often hear that time is money, but my mentor doesn't. He doesn't believe that. And I have mentors and coaches, and they're different. Mentor is like a sounding board. You can go in and say, "Man, I really suck in this area. Please help me." But a coach, he doesn't listen to you. He watches you. He watches you. He sees what you're doing, and then he, gives you guided direction on how to improve and elevate. A mentor is kind of just a firefighter putting out. You know, I mean, for me anyway. So my mentor said, "Man, if money can buy one second of time, then money would be more valuable than time." He said, "But since it can't, if you can always have more, get more money, but you can never get any more time." And I was like, I took that to my heart. He said, "Now you've been doing pictures for a long time, and you've been just away to people." He said, "It's like, what's wrong with getting paid?" And I said, "Well, I kept coming up with excuses on why I shouldn't get paid because it was obvious that I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe I was worth being paid for whatever strange reason that is.
Same.
But yeah,
Same.
you know what I mean. And from just so many things that go on. I have a lot of. Obviously, I'm black, so I have that. I have people who think people are judging you. You have people say no to you because you don't fit the standard. Um, so I had all these things just hitting my head. But when I started reading, libraries everywhere around me. When I started reading, I figured out that once you have the knowledge and the truth of the truth, once you understand it, that it don't matter what anybody does, they can't lock you out. If you have the key of truth, you can unlock any door. So once I figured that out, man, I just began to expand and just become more of the person that I knew I could be. And then I started learning so much from other people. Like today, I promise you, what you're saying right now will not go in vain. It will not be in vain because it's going to benefit young people. It's going to benefit me personally. It's going to benefit me financially. So I believe that if it benefits me financially, it should benefit you financially. That's just what I believe. So the program that was kind of talking about earlier, it's really a system because like what you do, your the image quality you have, no matter where you go, you're going to get paid what you're worth based on the work, based on what the people see, based on how you market it. You're going to get paid what you're worth, no question. And when you get to a point where like you give people permission to buy your stuff, you're giving them you're giving them permission to buy your stuff. It's not like you're forcing them to buy it. It's like, here you go, here's the stuff, here's your images. You have 7 days to buy it. Because and your work and your time is valuable. And the thing is, instead of creating just an impact, we want to create impact and income. McDonald's is paid, and McDonald's is terrible. You know what I mean? And that food is terrible. And if you're hungry and you eat it, you're going to be hungry in 30 minutes after you eat it.
So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they're not one of your current sponsors right now.
No, they're not. They're not. They're not. And if they were, I still feel the same. I still feel the same. They know they're selling trash. They know they're selling trash. So, but they have salads. They have different things that you can do. But when we get to a point where, as photographers, people give you assignments, you go and take care of the work, you do the work, people are happy, but for me, sometimes it's like, once you deliver your stuff, it's like you gave away your babies, and it's like, now what's next? You know what I mean? So this is where a system comes into place, where a real business comes into place where you can just go out, perform, and then 3 hours later, because a lot of people don't like to edit their work, but I love to edit my work because my work turns into revenue. My artwork turns into revenue. So me personally, sometimes I would shoot, and then I would go after the game, and I would spend 2 hours, because it doesn't take me that long anymore. It used to take me so much time to go through images because I would like look at it and study it. No studying. I look for clarity, for razor sharp lines and the blurred, beautiful background, and the kid is in the air. I just get it. If I don't like it, I just click delete. I don't even think about it. Then I'll skip past, delete, and then I get down to the core product. And then I will remove backgrounds with software that I use real quick, create a graphic within 5 minutes with several images, get them up on social media real fast, and drive them to my website. Because you can only see all the rest of them if you go to my website. You can only see. They'll only give them a gateway.
Yeah.
Permission to go see the rest of the work. And then once they go in, they have to log in, name, email, phone number, and they log in. And now I know they're there. I can see the traffic. I can see the line go up. I can see the lines, so that's very important. So one of the things that I like to do, I train young people, right? And my goal is to put 1,000 cameras in the hands of young people between 20 now and 2023, the end of 2023.
That's awesome.
Like powerful cameras, not the trash. I'm talking about cameras that we would use.
Yeah.
The level that we would use. I've recently took a kid out to a game. No one could reach this kid. I mean, nobody could reach him. He's mean. He's disrespectful. He looks down on his future. He's beating himself. But he went to the game with me, a very high level game, basketball game. Talented. And I told him a few things. I said, now you have a machine. This is not a toy. This is a machine. Mm-hmm. Do this, and this. You just follow this. Just do what I say. Don't try to think about it. Just do what I say. I said, you will have sellable images, 300 images, beautiful images. Well, because of the machine, and the proper use of the machine and the proper setting.
Listening to someone who can teach you.
Yeah. So, like, do you see yourself like grabbing kids out of the stands, kids who will be interested in doing photography? Do you ever see yourself like develop yourself that way?
Yeah. Well, whenever I see somebody shooting on the sideline, I try to talk to them, and it's frequently kids. They're taking pictures from yearbooks, and I take pictures of them actually, and they love that because they never get pictures of themselves because they're always behind the camera.
Yeah.
I love to hide behind the camera.
Yeah.
But I'll talk to them, and I'm like, yeah, here, take this, you give this a shot, and I'll let them, use one of my lenses. If they're shooting with Canon, then we can put it on their camera, and I'll do that. There's one kid for football. He'd already graduated, and he came back to at least half the games, most of the games, I'd say. And he was shooting video, and so I lent him I said, here, try this lens. It was my 70 to 200 2.8, and he loved it. And so he would come up and ask me if I was using the lens, and because I've got multiple lenses that I take to games, and so that's one I use. But I'm like, yeah, go for it, man. And I ended up buying him a monopod, not a $400 one like I bought for myself, but I got him a monopod because he would ask to borrow my monopod as well. And he was just like so thrilled and thankful. And people ask questions, and I'll try to help them, and people will ask, why aren't my pictures looking like yours? And I'll say, here, let me see your camera. Let me show you this picture right here. Your shutter speed's too slow, and so it's not freezing the action. So let me help you set this so it does. And they'll come back later after taking pictures like, oh my God, my pictures are so much better.
Yeah.
And just that, that little bit of knowledge and help. That's what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about teaching and helping people and mentoring. Some of my clients, they've hired me to take pictures of their kids, and then they're getting cameras, Canon R6, which is a really great camera. It's got the same sensor and processor as my Canon 1DX Mark III. So you can get just as good as images out of that one as you can mine. And they ask me questions, and I help them out, and you see how much they can improve in such a short amount of time.
Exactly.
And I was I can't say self-taught because I was asking all these questions to all these people, but it's self-taught in the sense that I was seeking out these people in the Facebook groups and watching YouTube videos and practicing and doing that, and kind of find out the basics that I can share with people to save them a lot of time, so they can get so much better faster than I ever did. And I love doing that.
Powerful, very powerful. So I have in Indiana. This is where I live in Indiana, a city called Indianapolis. Go away Colts. I mean, sorry. Anyway, so I found a niche area to again create more revenue. I love, my mentor, he taught me one key thing. He said the reason you don't make as much as your goals demand from you is because you don't make more offers. You got to make more offers. So with that, now I'm in a school, after school program, and I actually put cameras. I bought a bunch of T3Is. You just point, you just push the button and the flash, you get whatever picture you're going to get. But these kids are so hungry, for it. I see them once a week on Wednesdays. The school actually pays me to do that, which is weird. But, I would do it for free, but they insisted that they pay me, and I didn't resist it.
You're putting these cameras on remote?
No. I'll actually go to the school with cameras. Yeah, and they use the cameras to take pictures.
Oh, the kids.
The kids do.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So I have a group of young people that are hungry for it. So I'm teaching them all the skills that I have now. That's awesome. And then so every time I teach something, it's amazing. I elevate.
Yeah.
It's amazing because I didn't realize. Well, first of all, our line of work is unlimited.
Yeah.
Yeah, people say, "Oh, there's a limit." There's no limit
Mm-mm.
because we don't have enough life to touch all the things that we can really, really do with this. So one of the things. So do you print books?
I haven't. In fact,
Ooh,
I can't. I don't think that you can buy prints from my website, but I haven't printed anything myself. So,
wow,
which I need to do.
Scott, please.
Somebody just bought a bunch of digitals and made their own photo album for their
Yeah.
daughter, their senior. But yeah, I
Hey,
this is what I
Amazon.
need to learn.
Hey, Amazon, man, make it easy for people. You don't want people like I'm gonna tell you if you create a document, beautiful images in it, a beautiful cover on the cover. I'm telling you, they're not gonna look at it. They're going to pull out their credit card. They
Okay.
already know they're going to buy it, and the thing that they're going to buy it. It's no question at all. You know, I highly recommend that you use, find a book company that can get you some prints for a good price. You know, you can get 20 pages for like $5. You know, 20 pages is solid, especially if they're 8 by 10. That's
Yeah.
solid for $5. You know, that's really, really solid. And I like to be transparent. You know, I don't want people to think that they're buying. Then you're not getting. So I buy it for 5, and I trade it to you for the price that we agree on.
Yeah.
You know, it's a trade, and plus I put my wine, my time, my energy. I have to drive there. It's a lot of things that go into that.
Shutter count on your camera.
Yeah, well, I have a mirrorless, but
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't count. But which is beautiful. So I guess so. You're doing really, really well, and you're thinking about expanding. Like, so what's next for Scott? Like, what can the people like? Because you said Virginia, right?
Yes, Northern Virginia. Right. I'm 30 miles outside DC.
Okay, man.
It's
So
a
you got some good
busy
athletes.
area. The,
Yeah, yeah.
some people, when they hear Virginia, they think West Virginia and rural and so forth. I'm the suburbs, and it's very congested here.
Yeah. So you got a lot of people to shoot.
I,
I mean, you got a lot of pictures to take.
yeah, and unlimited,
Unlimited. I
unlimited.
was a first grader, and there's always a 12th grader.
Yes.
We never run out of clientele. We'll never run out of content. And you know, if you ever get bored, there's all kind of buildings, and there's all kind of flowers, and there's all kind of senior portraits. So it's like I guess the point is, and I'm asking this for my own personal reasons. Like, have you established a number that you want to earn from photography? Like, in a year, have you like made that a concrete thing for yourself?
I haven't. I and people have asked me if this is my first of all. They'll ask me. They assume that it's my full time thing because I'm walking around with
Always.
professional equipment. And people will ask me, do you want to do that full time? And my answer until recently has been no, because I want it to remain fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to take jobs that I don't want to do. I don't want to be a wedding photographer. I love shooting weddings, usually when it's people that I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of the guests, and I'm taking pictures of everybody, not just the wedding couple, whatever. But I don't want to be a wedding photographer and book my weekends out 1 to 2 years in advance. And it's just not my thing to do full time. And I was thinking, how could I possibly make that much money doing sports photography to be able to do it full time? And if I did that, I would have to earn $30,000 or $40,000 a year more doing photography than I would in my job as an employee because of all the benefits and so forth. I was like, there's no way I could possibly do that. But recently, I obviously have a passion for photography, and I feel like it's a calling on my life. In what capacity, I don't know. And I've been asking God, praying to God, please share whatever the calling is you have on my life. Please, give me a glimpse of that. Let me know what you want me to do. So I'm just being patient and seeing where things lead.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna kind of finish out this year with this spring season and see where things lead. And you know, things are happening. Like I was asked to do a podcast about photography, and you know, whatever God wants me to do with photography, I will do it. Whether it's to earn money or not earn money, you know, I shoot a lot for free. Um, there was there I've been doing shooting for some charities. Um, there's been a handful of kids who have uh, beat cancer, and they have a parade for them, and you know they get the fire engines and ambulances and so forth, and you know sometimes hundreds of cars, and they do a parade, and so I'll go shoot that, and I'm not charging for those.
Mm-hmm.
Unified sports, the kids with special needs. They've had a couple basketball games lately. I shoot those. I don't charge for those. So I just, you know, I feel that God gave me a gift, and it's not a gift to me. It's a gift that I can share with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't set a number on that. Maybe I should. Um, I think that you know God's given me provision, but I can multiply that, and I can you know use that money to sow into His kingdom. And hope I didn't get too spiritual, but that's where I am. And
Man, we're spiritual. I'm a spiritual person.
I can tell.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not a. I mean, anybody who puts "I am photography" on their hat, if you think about God, man, it's like I asked for permission for this. I didn't just believe I could do that. So many more people, they have so much more talent than me. The reason they have it is because I haven't asked them yet. I haven't asked for their wisdom to come into my life yet. But once I get that wisdom, you know, I elevate. I always elevate. So it's always a spiritual thing for me. So it's welcome here, brother. It's welcome here. Yeah. So we're a family. So if you think about like the reason I brought that up is really for me. Again, sometimes I ask questions that are selfish, and it's really because I want to improve myself and I want to get better. Because the people that I serve, they have zero direction. They have the only direction they have is fast forward to nowhere. You know, they say the words "I don't know" often. They always say "I don't know." When you ask them a question, they say "I don't know." I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, want to play a video game? Yes. Want to eat some sugar? Yes. Want some money? Yes. You want to do some work, read a book to improve yourself that can help you get more food, more money, and more time, freedom to do what you want to do? I don't know. Because no, it's like it's really a difficult thing for people to understand and grasp. It's a very difficult thing. So with the programs, like, so the reason I asked for the number, like my number is I'm gonna make up a word real quick, magnanimous. For me, it's a super huge number. I may never achieve it in my lifetime. I may never achieve it. Today might be my last day, and it'd be a great day, you know. So, but the goal is to put your vision so far ahead of you that you always have something for, and then you create systems, modalities, concepts, and processes in order to make that journey very easy. Because nobody wants to walk to California. We want to fly there. You know, so I create a system so I can fly from my level of where I'm at now to the next, you know, the next journey or voyage, wherever I'm going. So that number is very important, I believe, because it will give you something a star to hold on to, a planet to land on, says Elon Musk. You know, it gives you something, you know, to do. And some of the systems that I have in place, I'm creating a course. I think I told you that already. But I'm creating a photography course because it's so important, because there's so many people who are taking pictures. I always ask the question, like people think I'm being vain. Like, are you making money when you take pictures? I just ask the question, are you making money? They're like, nah. I mean, no offense, but why are you doing it? Well, I do it for the kids. I do it for this. Oh, that's good. That's good. Why do you go to work? Well, I go to work to get some money. So, like, what do you think you're doing right now? You're working. This is work. This is a labor, and labor should not. I mean, even the ox deserves his feed. So when I go to work, doing what I love, what I'm passionate about, I expect. I don't think I'm going to make money. I don't hope you. I know I'm going to make money. I know I'm going to get paid. You know, and I do have people.
You hear that weird noise. It's super windy outside, and it's like blowing my windows. I don't know if you can.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was somebody asking you something.
No, it looks like trees are about to blow down or something.
Oh wow.
It's sunny, but
windy. Yeah. So
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. You're fine. This is real life. So what I like to do, this is all unedited. I never edit, So
Okay.
if I bumble that you see there's no viewers, there's not 4 viewers. A couple people jumped on from YouTube and they said some rude stuff, like they called me names. I blocked them, but like I don't even know these people. They talking mean to me. But anyway, so I don't like to edit things. I like things to stay raw. So the course that I want to create for photographers is because my mentor taught me, he said these words to me. I was asking him a question. I said, how can I get people to know and to understand that they can make money with this thing? And he asked me a few questions, and then he said these key words. He said, say this to the public and then shut up. He said, picture perfect profits, how to turn pictures into profit and get paid like a pro. I said, whoa. Picture perfect profits? How to turn pictures into profit and get paid like a pro? Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that if they're taking pictures and they're not getting paid like a pro right now?
Everybody.
You know what I'm saying? So he told me to use that and put it out there, create the course, put it out there, put $1,000 price tag on it. He said 1,000 is too low, but you need more confidence in yourself. He said $1,000 is too low. And he said you should set up for 10,000 or you're going to have too many people. Once it gets out there, you're going to have too many people. You're going to have to address too many questions. You're going to have a bunch of, weird requests and all of that. He said I should set up for 10,000. He said if your goal is 250,000, you have to do that 25 times. And if your goal is you do it with 1,000, you got to do it 250 times. So collapse the time frames. And plus, there's people out there who can pay 10,000 with a credit card, with a piece of plastic, So, and then the value. So, do you mind if I walk you through my ladder, through my framework?
Absolutely. I'm dying to see it.
So the framework. So I start with a 5x7 print. A 5x7 print is low cost, it's low entry, it's a low investment for us because we have to invest in ourselves, which a lot of people we don't, for whatever reason, we believe in investing in everyone else, but we don't believe in that we can make our money 10 times better.
Yeah.
And make an investment and get 10 times back.
That's true.
but I believe that. So I take 37 cents. and I print it out. And then I say, here's your picture. Wow, that's not. Here you go. Just $10. They say how much? I say just $10. Just $10. And people are like, oh, and they rush to get their money out to pay for it. Oh, I don't have any cash. Don't worry, Venmo, Cash App, XYZ. But go ahead and scan the QR code, put your name and email into this system. And then once they're there, then I walk them up to the next level. The next level is to create a magazine cover, a very image like this with no background, with a lot of information on it, like that make him look like a superhero.
Yeah.
On the cover of a magazine. And then the next step is to sell a magazine or a poster. Posters for this age group is usually a poster. But the high school ranks is a magazine. So you just, again, it's an investment. You invest the $75. You get 10 magazines in your hand, and then you sell them for $50 a piece. Period. And people say, "Oh, they won't buy them." Please, I'm in one of the poorest counties in this state, and I sell them like hotcakes. Hotcakes on a discount Sunday. You know what I mean? and they
People
buy
will
them.
find money for what they really want.
Exactly. Like someone asked me, I said, for something for $10,000, I said, would you pay me $1,000 to have $10,000 worth of value? And I said, and he said, what did that entail? So this is the program that I'm going through. My program, that 1,000 can turn into 10,000 10 times. I mean, it could. I made $500 in 2 hours doing this at a gym. $500 in 2 hours.
Wow.
Profit.
I hate to jump in, but I just have to say, you said you live in one of the poorest counties in
No. My photography's being where I'm getting the most of my income right now is coming from the poorest place in our state.
The poorest place in your state, and I live in the richest county in the country, and I question myself. I'm like, are people going to buy this? That sounds really expensive to me.
Man, I need to come into your county. Yeah, I need to come into your county, because if I come into your county with my skill set systems, there's no way I wouldn't make money. And they wouldn't judge me because they're the content. They're not going to judge me. Yeah. You will get your investment back, and you will have some stuff left over that you're gonna have to put in the garage. But those serve for you as now a portfolio. Now you can show people what you have. You can show them the stuff, the information. So now you move up to the next level and you create what's called a custom magazine, where it'll only be just the one kid all the way through the magazine.
Okay.
So you do the team first.
Okay.
You do the team magazine first. You have images of all the kids. You sell that. And then you move up to the next level in the ladder of escalation. You want to elevate them up, keep giving them more and more products that they want. And then you make this one. You do this in the order I said, because team magazine, they're definitely going to buy the custom magazine.
Yeah.
They want the team and then in the custom the team magazine, you want to have autograph pages in the back, so the kids can get the magazine and then they can sign each kid's magazine.
That's so cool.
Every kid on the team has their own custom magazine. Every kid does, whether they played or not. If you're a layup All-American, you're going to be your magazine is going to be the best layup magazine, warm-up magazine in this state. And that's what you do for the kids. And then you escalate to the next level, which is the premium level. Now, I'm giving you some real game right here.
All right.
Some real game right here. So now you go to businesses. Now, I'm giving you the framework, but you have to see how this stuff works. It's detail upon detail, precept upon precept. So it keeps building itself so easy once you understand it. You're a smart guy, so I know that you would understand it so simple. You would make it. I won't say that. So now you want to go to business owners. And you want to talk to the business owner. You say, "Hey, Mr. Pizza Man, my fans of my photography love your pizza. Hey, I want to put an ad in my magazine, and I want to put a QR code. And when they scan that QR code, I want you to give them a free breadstick when they come in on Tuesdays. Is that cool with you?" And what they had to do is they scan the QR code, they put their name and email to receive the discount coupon, which comes automatically through email.
Okay.
Now the business owner gets a metric. They know that people are scanning the QR code, and they get an email that they can follow up with them and send them deals and coupons and anything they want. And then they get exposure as a company that supports youth sports. And you ask for $1,000 a year for that.
Awesome.
So that's the premium. So that's the now if you elevate all the way through that, at the end of the year, you should be having 10 businesses in your magazine that are paying you $1,000 a year, which is $10,000 a year.
Wow.
Right? For a picture and an email system that they can use to further build their business and help kids at the same time. And then so anytime anything comes up photography wise, they're going to look for Scott.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So that's a program.
That's brilliant.
Okay. So that's a small part of the program. That's a very small part. It goes 51 levels up.
Wow.
51 levels up. You know, and it's going to be 52 soon because my goal is to have one thing I can teach a week, every week, that can keep improving all the way through the year, and then people can keep recycling and getting better. People are going to be so much better than me, and I'm so blessed. You know, like the Lord said, if you follow me, greater works than these shall you do.
Mm.
Now He said that to us. So now I want to pay the world back the favor. Now, if you do these greater works than these shall you have, you will get the reward way better than me because one, you're a kid, or you're a passionate person like me, but you get to start off what took me 15 years to get to. You get to start there. And if you use your mind, the potential of your mind is where you're at and where you want to go. All that other stuff is called potential in the middle. You know what I mean? So the reason I wanted to bring that to you, because one, as a human being, I always need validation. And I thank you for saying that that's brilliant.
It is.
Yeah, that definitely helps me. And people may say, "Oh, wow, I can do all that," but there's a definite system. If you do it in a way that is not systematized, then you will be punished. It will punish your time. It will crush your time. But if you have a system in place, still crush. Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff, they're going to be there. They're going to see it.
Yeah.
As soon as I put something up, it light up. My Instagram lights up. If I put one picture up of somebody digging in their nose, Instagram's going to light up. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what goes up. It just lights up. Yeah. So that is a system, a small part of the system. There's 51 more levels that could go. And again, I'm just Darnell, but I have a very, very, very strong faith. I believe, like, a guy offered me a lot of money to go to California to do a certain system. I said, nah. He talked to me like he talked down to me. Well, first of all, he don't know how much I make. I do really, really well. He don't know what I make, but he was saying to me, like, you will give up this amount of money. I said, dude, that's a demotion to me because I'm an ambassador for Christ. You understand? Amen. So I'm an ambassador for Christ. So that actually would be a demotion, and it would not help me for me to do that. It would not help the people that I serve now. The only thing I have going on with me right now is I want to honor the faithful Father. I want to honor Him with my life. I want to please Him with all of my fiber and all of my being. And then number two, I want to serve the people that I'm here to serve.
Yes.
And if I do that, I hear the echoes of "Well done, my faithful servant," come into my joy. That's my goal for life. Other people have a goal for whatever. My goal is to hear "Well done." You know, so I do my best to stay streamlined, to keep myself on a straight, narrow path. And photography keeps me straight and narrow. And I keep improving, and God keeps amazing me. He keeps giving me so much that if I feel like I have to pass it on to brilliant people like you, who helps me, you know. So I really want to thank you for sharing your story. I definitely want to see that GIF you made, though. I want to see that. I need everybody to see that. Yeah. So if you don't mind,
sure.
Do you have anything else to add before you do that?
I do.
Okay.
Like, just the things you're saying just really speak to my heart. Photography keeps me on the straight and narrow too, and I've suffered from major depression my entire life. And I was on, and I also have Crohn's disease. It's an autoimmune disease that affects the GI tract, and I had part of my colon and small intestines cut out and so forth, like major surgery. And I feel like they go hand in hand. They exacerbate each other. But been on dozens of medications for depression since I was preteen, and nothing ever helped. And I'm in my 40s, and so over 3 decades, nothing has helped. I finally found a medication that it's a totally different type of medication. It's actually an anesthesia that has relieved my depression enough that I can get off the couch, because for years I would go to work it would suck what little energy I had, and then I would come home and sit on the couch, and I was miserable. And this medication has relieved my depression enough that I can get off the couch and go and do what I feel is my calling. And that's the second piece that I wanted to get to was I feel like a lot of my people say, what are you depressed about? I wasn't depressed about anything. I was depressed about everything. And I feel like it's because I wasn't following the calling on my life. And I feel like I was saved many years ago, but I don't feel like it was until recently that I had a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And that has changed my life. And so just like you, I just want to be a good servant for Christ, and to do whatever it is that he's called me to do. And it's totally changed my outlook on everything. I don't worry about certain things anymore. I was always worried about money, and now I know that he will provide provision for whatever it is that he wants me to do. And so I don't even know how to articulate some of this stuff, but what you just said just really spoke to my heart.
Man, well, I'm gonna say this to you, man. Congratulations on getting off the couch.
Thank you.
Congratulations on getting off the couch. And I want you to think about, this is something that I learned personally from a very great mentor. I should call him a coach. He said the flesh is weak and the spirit is willing. And when he said that to me, the first thing my mind went to was my flesh is weak, which means I have to do those weak things. I have to be depressed. I have to be anxious. I have to worry and all that because my flesh is weak. But he said, who said you are the flesh? He said, walk by faith, not by sight. Sight got to do with the flesh. And I said, okay, I understand that. Mm-hmm. And then I figured out, after, just thinking and asking God for wisdom. See, I could be a junky person in God's eyes, which I know he sees me as a wonderful person from his perspective. But I could be I could be a waste of space. I can be a dirty rag in his sight. But if I ask him for wisdom, he'll give it to me.
Amen.
And so since when I figured that out, I asked for the wisdom and he gave it to me. Mm-hmm. And I said, but am I supposed to be this? Am I supposed to be able to be this? He said, the word that I've given you is enough. Take the word. It will not return unto me void. You can stop it though. With that weak flesh, that the weak ideas you got, this is speaking to me. So instead of me saying my flesh is weak and then letting that be the leader, I said my spirit is willing to do what? Be love, peace, health, happiness, self-control, sincerity, water the flowers, speak kindly to the people, shake my neighbor's hand, help my neighbor pick up the trash when the trash can blows over, help the old lady across the street, help the kid buy some groceries for us to afford it. I can be that willing person. So then I said, Darnell, when I look at myself now, this dude is a slave. This body is a slave, and it does what I tell it to do. If I tell it to get up and cut the grass, that's what it must do. If I tell it to go to the game and be a blessing to somebody, that's what I must do. That's what this body must do. It's weak. It's not strong enough to stand up to my will. Yeah. So, so once I understood that and took this flesh out of control and then put my mind back in control, and my soul is definitely depressed now. My soul is depressed, but my spirit is smiling, because my spirit I'm dead. I want my flesh to die, and I want to live through the faith that I move in. And I could not understand that or articulate that without being in this space of photography. There's no way I can see that picture that clear without being able to form that image in my mind, where I can see my flesh doing what I tell it to do rather than what I feel like doing. Because if I don't feel like, the only reason people don't do something is because they don't feel like doing it. And if they do it, it's because they feel like doing it. So I had to get that out the way. That feeling thing had to get out the way. And then I became a disciplined person. I became a disciplined person, which means I'll do disciplined things and I'll have the results of a disciplined person. So I don't care what I feel like. I just get up and go. When I tell my flesh to go, that's what it must do from here on out. So yeah,
that's such great wisdom.
yeah. So that came from the clouds. That didn't come from me. I promise. I asked, and he gave it to me. He poured on me liberally. And when I look at myself now and the junky things I talked about in the past, my flesh was in control the whole time. But yeah, so yeah, take that to heart, man. Your body got to do what you tell it to do, and if you tell it to heal itself, that's what it got to do.
Amen.
That's what it got to do. Yeah, so show us this gift, man. Show us how to work it. Show us how to work it, man. Hey, thank you for sharing your story, man. You're a very powerful person, man. You are so powerful, man. I wish I could just. We may have to work some. We'll talk offline.
We'll talk again, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, show me what you got.
But just since you were saying it's not me, the power's not coming from me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So, can you still see what's happening?
No, you got to share the screen.
I got to share the screen. Okay. Here we go. Entire screen. Okay. You can see my screen.
Let me see. Add the stream. Now I can.
You can see me sharing, and you see Google.
I see Google. Yeah.
Okay. And so I just
some notes. Let me grab my card real quick so I can make some notes.
Okay.
Anybody who's watching this later, you might want to make some notes because you can make some pretty cool images with what he's getting ready to share.
And honestly, if you take some notes, but even if you don't, I'm going to show you how to do it where if you don't have the opportunity, you're driving or whatever, you don't have the opportunity to take notes, you can figure it out.
Okay.
You just let me know when you're ready.
Yep, I'm ready.
So I just went to Google and this is what people said. They just, look for a place to make gifts. So I just said, make GIF. I think is what I typed in. And this is the first one that popped up, easygif.com. And so I clicked on that. And then it's kind of a busy site, but animated GIF maker. And just kind of here in the middle, you just do choose files. And it shows you all these different formats, up to 2,000 files, max file size 6 megabytes or 100 total. And so you just do choose files. And let's see if I can find them again. I had a game that I did it, and I think it's right here. So, okay. So I had gone in and edited these files. They're pictures that I took at a basketball game. It was a sequence. They were all in focus, and they turned out well. And so I picked this sequence. I think there's like 20 files, and so I'm going to select all of them and open. So just choose the files and open them, and then you upload and make a GIF. And it's that simple.
Nice.
I think my computer's doing it now. It doesn't.
Yeah, sometimes when things are streaming, it takes a little bit longer for some reason.
So okay, so I see the browser's thinking. It doesn't look like it's doing anything, but I got that clue up there that it's doing its thing.
Yeah.
Uploading the files to the website. The website's making a GIF. And so now it comes to this page, and you can play around with it, but it talks about the delay, how long you want to delay for the next picture. You can skip or copy, you can move them around. I didn't do any of that. Delay time, you can play with that. I didn't, and I just selected make a GIF. Now, while it's thinking, I just hit make a GIF. I think you can do it straight to a video. And so I don't know if you can see this here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see it.
So
that's what got my attention.
So this is my home school where my daughter goes. um, this kid, Ralph, his father is a minister, and I didn't know this at the time. I just take pictures, and one of the kids on the team, I'm good friends with his parents, and they said, "Oh, you have to show his parents." And so I met them and showed them, and well, I just showed them the pictures. This was right after the game.
Yeah.
And then I saw them at the next game, and I gave them this gift. Now you can, my understanding is you can go straight to video, and so down here you can crop it, resize, rotate, all these things, and you hit save, and you just save it to your hard drive, and then you have it as a GIF forever. Now, right here it says convert. You can convert it to these different formats. So you can convert to a movie. I think that's what I did. Convert to a movie. I think you can do it straight to a MP4 or whatever. Okay, so now here I think you just hit save or convert GIF to MOV. So it'll do that, and you can do it to an MP4 or whatever. So the reason that you do, and then you have to hit play. So the reason I did that is after I made the GIF and I tried to upload it to I did a loop here. After I uploaded it or tried to upload it to social media, you can't upload a GIF directly to Facebook or Instagram, but it will let you upload movies.
Yes.
So that's why I converted it. I just don't know what I'm doing. So I made a GIF and then converted it to a movie and then was able to upload it.
Wow.
So again, just real simply, I literally typed in make GIF.
Yeah.
It's the first thing that showed up, easygif.com. Upload your files and hit the button, and it does everything else for you.
So did you compress the images before you did that?
Yes, I tried it both ways. I tried doing large files and large JPEG, and then I also made small JPEG, like I would put on social media, a smaller size, and the smaller size seemed to do a little bit better because it compresses them. And so if you go ahead and compress it ahead of time, then it doesn't have problems with compression algorithms. So for me, it worked better. I'll play around with it and so forth. You can play around with it, but that's what I did. I saw other people do it, and I was like, I want to learn to do this, and it worked out well. So.
Oh yeah, man, that opened my eyes big time. It opened my eyes big time, like seriously. Like,
so,
yeah.
How many frames per second did your Z6 II?
I want to say between 14 to 16.
Okay. Yeah, so that was shot with my 1DX Mark III, which shoots 16 frames per second, and that's what it looks like. And you can go in and change the delay and whatever. But if you change your and the reason I did this was each one of those frames is a picture shot at 1,000th of a second, which is what I shoot sports at, and it makes it nice. It freezes the action, makes it nice and clear. You can, if you want to slow it down a little bit, you can play around with it, but you've got, pictures, and you've also got, kind of a choppy video. So you've kind of got 2 for 1. I found that it's hard to try to do video, which I know next to nothing about, and photography at the same time. Trying to get into video. So this is maybe a step in that direction where I can kind of get a GIF or video product at the same time I'm doing still pictures.
Yeah, I like to do video like when they're warming up.
Okay.
I like to do that. That's when I get my little practice in, because I used to do video long ago, and I was pretty good with my $73 camera. I was really good at it, and I could make almost an invisible video. It was just it was terrible. It was terrible, but Yeah, I just practice. I like doing it with my camera because my camera, it gets such great like quality. Like I see people with their big fancy stuff, but then I have my camera, and my videos are, I don't know, they're just good. I mean, they're really really good with that Z6. I want to get the Z9. It's about 100. It does 120 frames a second.
Wow.
You know, on a certain mode,
On the video,
which is
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
And then you can get like 40 frames a second on the stills, which is ridiculous. You know, you won't miss anything because you don't move that fast.
Because movies, they shoot at 24 frames per second. So if you're doing 40 frames per second, you're doing faster than regular TV that might be at 30 frames per second.
Exactly. I probably would dial it down. I don't know if I would ever have it that high for any reason, unless I was doing a GIF.
Yeah.
You know, creating those. But I'm definitely going to do that. I don't think I'm gonna play with it, and I'll tag you in it when I.
Yeah, please do.
I'm gonna start using TikTok, and I'm gonna start using TikTok and Instagram a lot more. That seems to be the avenue, you know, to get me. I don't know. I've sold 60 magazines pretty quick of a brand new school that I went to, and I sold like 60 of them. Like, and I didn't do it. I didn't print them. You know, I took in like 10, sold those, and then people were like, "Where'd you get this from?" That website.
Yeah.
You know,
you can make money off TikTok just by having a lot of followers, and going live, and people can just give you money right there. My daughter has close to 100,000 followers on TikTok.
Oh wow! What is her TikTok? 100,000. How did she do that?
Hang on. So, well, she started. I have to look up her TikTok. She started on Instagram, and she had like 34,000 followers on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And she did makeup. She's really talented as a makeup artist, and she doesn't do that anymore. Building an Instagram, she still does makeup for people sometimes as a business. Okay, so her TikTok is Sid Sikes, SYDSIKESS. And it's she's got a picture actually that I took. I don't know if you can see. That's her. I took a picture at a gym shoot. So she's moved from makeup to fitness, and now she's got some collaborations with gyms, and she's got, it says here 97.2K followers.
Wow.
And she's not 18 yet, so she's not making money on TikTok. But as soon as she hits 18, she'll be able to make a little bit of money. Right. She goes live and she posts videos and so forth.
That is amazing, awesome, man. That does she do? Did she build a course on how to build a following?
She has not built a course. She just hooked up with somebody who, I think they have like 1 million followers. It's a father-daughter team. The father's a photographer, and the daughter, she makes videos and so forth. And the father, he's excellent photographer. He does portrait stuff, and you see his work. So he'll post pictures of his daughter on his page, and his daughter will post pictures of herself on her page, and they'll tag each other. And they've figured out, or we're trying to learn, they figured out how to do the algorithm. So you go on TikTok, and then you go quickly to Instagram, and you do certain things. And I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay.
They figured out this combination, and it grows, and they're helping each other grow. And
wow.
And they're making some decent money on those platforms.
Nice. I definitely want to figure out how to make those cool, because I see kids all the time with cool photography TikToks, and I have again, I'm asking for wisdom. Matter of fact, Father, give me the wisdom to make creative TikToks. I need that information. Download that immediately as soon as you get this message, Father. So I hopefully I get that today. I know you got a lot going on. So yeah, man. Well, great to have you on the show, man.
Thank you. This has been awesome. I didn't know what to expect, and this has been a blessing. So thank you.
Yeah. So I hope, I like to ask everybody who comes onto the show. So will you come back and do another show, and talk again later?
I would love to. If we get a single watch on the video, if someone likes the video, I will come back. I would love.
You know what? We're gonna get way more than that because it's gonna be put out there where I run numbers to the video, so people are gonna see it. They definitely. I don't like to put it on my personal, so I put it on a blank group page.
Okay.
It's being streamed in there right now, and then YouTube, and so it's streamed on 2 different YouTube channels right now. I don't have anybody on either. I have no followers, not yet, but the goal is I don't want followers. I want contributors to be a part of my world. I don't want followers. I want contributors. I want to iron sharpen iron. That's what I need. So
what is your YouTube channel? Is it Darnell Photability?
I don't even know, to be honest. Which, strange enough, let's see, what is my YouTube channel? I have no idea. Let's see. Let me go here. Switch account. I think it may call it Mental Scraps. Yeah, Mental Scraps.
I'm looking it up now.
Let's see. Home.
Oops.
Videos. Let's see. Oh, because it's taking me to my own stuff.
Okay, I see the podcast going live here.
Yeah, yep, that's us. That's us. Yeah, man. So
You just got your first contributor.
Yes, sir. Yeah, some
Awesome.
people were stuff. I don't know why. I know these people.
Did anyone ask any questions or anything?
No. It was just mean people.
Okay.
Just a bunch of mean people jumped in there. I don't have any following, but that's definitely gonna change and improve because, this opened up my eyes a lot, man. I appreciate you being vulnerable and sharing your information. Sharing your story, and wherever you live, man, they should be very thankful that you are there because you take some of these ideas, man, and put your information in their hands, man. Make more offers. Just make more offers, man, and send them up. And I'd like to talk to you later and show you the behind the scenes as I'm making my course. You can kind of help me develop it if you like, and then you can get the same information at the same time as I develop it.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right, man.
I've been asking God for wisdom and guidance, and I got it. I got a lot today. So thank you. I appreciate your time and inviting me on.
Yeah, no problem, man. We both got it then because he's raining on both of us, and I think that God has big plans for people who want to help and see people improve and elevate in 2022 and beyond. Yeah. So, all right, man. Well, we will be in touch. Shoot me your, if you don't mind, shoot me your number in the messenger so I can have your number.
I will.
And, and let's stay in touch, man.
I look forward to getting to know you better.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, you have a great one.
All right.
End this broadcast. Hold on for me 1 second. I'm gonna end this broadcast real quick.